Welcome back to another FIFA 19 video. So we've got 3 new features to talk about that we'll be seeing in FIFA 19. I'm pretty excited to give you my thoughts on these. So we have the active touch system. We've also got the new timed finishing system, which I think could be very interesting indeed. And also the new dynamic tactics that we're going to see. So let's jump into it. So with the new dynamic tactics, they've gone ahead and recruited some of the Premier League managers we all know and love, and they've got their own inputs in the game, which means, of course, modern tactics, up-to-date tactics from the best managers from around the world, including Pep Guardiola, Pochettino. Here we've got some highly customizable game plans. This is specific to Man City right now, what you're seeing. And it seems like they're based off different categories. You then go into those categories and select formations and then change the instructions, the position of your players. It seems like there's a lot more to it this time around, which means you can really modify the way your team plays, make every different team feel different. It's not going to be the same lineup, same tactics every single match, and it seems like you can just go ahead and do it on the fly. So as you're watching the gameplay in the background here, watch how the players move on the pitch as they change the tactics. You know, I've got this problem with old FIFAs just feeling like you're changing tactics, but they don't really do much on the pitch. It doesn't actually feel that different. So hopefully with the new dynamic tactics, you're really going to feel a difference and see your team change completely when you do change your style. There's no park the bus, which is great. I think that was such a silly idea to put it in the game. Why would you want to play against someone on Park the Bus? And also, why would you want to play on Park the Bus? Just seems a little bit silly to me, so they have removed it. But the dynamic tactics do look very interesting to me, especially as a career mode player. I want to change my tactics every single game, and hopefully you can do it seamlessly. Another new feature coming to FIFA 19 is the different touch. Active touch, they're calling it. The way that you bring the ball down with your players. A new way to control the game, I guess. A new way to control the ball and the game. You can strike the ball differently because of the way you're bringing down the ball. New animations, I'm sure. Different traps as well. So when the ball comes to you from the air, you're able to bring it down a lot more fluently, which is always a nice thing. Great touch there by Diego Costa as he slams it into the back of the net. And there is the new traps. So a lot of players, when they take the ball down, just bring it down with their foot and then they're able to, you know, move forward with the ball or turn the opposite direction. It feels like when the ball comes into a player, if you're receiving the ball, you can instantly take it the other direction there, just like what De Bruyne did. Gives you a lot more time. You know, you just flick the ball away from the defender. Has a lovely bit of skill from Ribery there. He kind of bounced the ball with the bottom of his foot. Absolutely love that. And David Silva there doing what Iniesta's known for. It looks really good. I'm really hoping this changes the way you attack. You've just got more time with the ball at your feet because you're not waiting for the ball to be under control and then taking the next step. It's all fluent, it's instant. As soon as you receive the ball, you can flick it in any direction you want. And ultimately, as it says there, it gives you more control with the ball at your feet, and that allows you to open up the field. It allows you to do different things with your front line. Lovely bit of skill there from James. Chips it over the defender, and it's going in the back of the net. Beautiful finish. But of course, it means you can be more creative as well. It looks like Neymar there pulling off a lovely rainbow flick, which he's known for. That looks absolutely fantastic. Really excited by this. It changes the way you play the game. If everything's more quick, everything is more fluent, you're just able to do more. And that is something I'm very excited about. And what a finish by Mbappe, who, by the way, now has the number 7 shirt at PSG. So you will no longer see him with the number 29. And now for the biggest new feature to FIFA 19, in my opinion, it is the timed finishing feature. A new system which allows you to have more control of the accuracy, the precision of your shooting. But straight off the bat, I want to say this because if they haven't done this already, I'll be really disappointed. But please, let this be a feature that we can turn on or off. Because some of us don't like unrealistic features, if that makes sense. Seeing a bar above your player's head every time you shoot could be a little bit strange. Does it slow down the gameplay as it's approaching you? I don't know. We've obviously got the power bar already, which we're all used to. You need to know how much power you're putting into your shot. It's a game after all. But when it comes to actually gaining more accuracy, I don't know if I like it. It's going to be a real odd one, but here you can see some examples of players that are hitting it perfectly in the green and it's sometimes on target, and then you've got players missing the green bar completely, and it goes flying over the bar there. Alexis Sanchez in the new Man United kit looks nice, doesn't it? So you get more power, apparently. I don't know if they mean physical power behind the ball or more power over your shots, more power to change the direction of your shots and be more accurate with them. Rashford there taking a shot which I think would have gone over the bar there. It feels like this is a way just to make shooting different, not just holding circle or the shoot button and hoping for the best. You actually have more control over it, and I think some people will really enjoy this. But as someone like me who likes to play a lot of career mode and do a lot of realistic things with FIFA, I like to see it as a simulation game. I'm not so sure this feature's for me. But here's another good example of the ball coming into the box. You can see the gameplay is in slow-mo because I've put it in slow-mo, but it doesn't look like the actual gameplay itself slows down, so you can actually, take your time to get the bar in the middle. It looks like it's all going to happen in real time. And they're saying here you will score more amazing goals. So here he goes with the outside of his boot. I think that was that Dybala? Lovely strike into the top corner. I mean, if it works, fantastic. It could be a really cool new feature. But also, it might just not be that great. And hopefully, it's an option that you can turn on and off. So let's get some more in-depth thoughts on all this. Let's start with the dynamic tactics, because for me, this is the most exciting part, especially as a career mode YouTuber. So from what I see here, sure, it looks great. There's going to be a few more things that you can do in more detail to adjust your squad, how they play, the lineup, and everything like that is on point. That looks good, but there's a couple of things that I still hope they add. I want to, for example, okay, as an Arsenal fan, when I watch Arsenal, we've got quite a lot of attacking players that like to rotate. So if you're playing a 4-3-3, let's say we've got Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil as the front three. You'll find throughout the match that Ozil drifts over to the left, Aubameyang goes up front for a bit, Lacazette then swaps with Ozil, and they're always changing position, but I haven't seen anything like that in these images. So I'm not talking just about that system where the front three rotate. It keeps defenders on their toes, for example. You never know which player is going to be where. I want that in FIFA. I want to be able to use the D-pad to say, switch positions. So I know you can swap wingers in FIFA. I know that you can swap your right winger with your left winger, but there isn't anything to say, do a trio. Imagine if you've got three midfielders that are all very similar in a 4-3-3. Why not allow them to rotate around the pitch or instantly make them free roam instead of sit back or go forward? A lot more customization in those areas would be really good if you ask me. But this does look good. I'm very intrigued. I'm hoping that we're going to see more of this very soon at Gamescom. I'm sure we will. But from what I can see in some of these images, the new instructions look very nice in terms of the dots on the pitch. You look on the left side here, the defensive style. You see the pitch with all the dots. It looks a lot more intuitive. It looks easier to use. Instead of just sliders from 0 to 100, you've got text, you've got bars that go up and down. I like it. It does look very good indeed, and it does say here that it's all from the D-pad. I don't think all of this that we've seen is from the D-pad, but during the game, the D-pad will be more useful, I guess, when it comes to gameplay tactics, and that's definitely a good thing. When the ball goes out of play, or if you've just got a moment where you're not really in any danger, you can quickly change your tactics instead of going into the menu, which of course ruins that fluid feeling of a game. Pausing the game is never good. You want to be playing as much as possible, so that does look good. And I just want to talk about the timed finishing feature a little bit more, because I don't want people to get the wrong end of the stick with my opinion on it so far. The image we're looking at right now is Lingard, I believe, taking a shot from just outside the box, and you can see the bar is set into green. Now this is a problem for me. Does that mean he's guaranteed to hit the target? My head says yes, that probably is the case. If you hit it into the green, you're guaranteed to hit it on target. So, does this mean that stats are irrelevant? Does it mean that finishing, shot power, shot accuracy, things like this doesn't mean anything anymore? Because you could just hit it in the green every time. If you get good at this feature, you'll hit every shot. it will hit the target every time, right? Or, and this is what I think should be the case, and I really hope it is the case, it takes your stats into account. That bar, while it's moving up and down between the red, orange, yellow and green, if you've got better shooting stats, it slows it down. You'll find it easier to get it into the green marker. So let's use two examples here. We've got John Terry taking a shot. his shooting is going to be very poor, right? He's not a striker. He's not known for his finishing. So the bar would then be very small. The actual indicator itself would be very small, and it will move up and down the bar really quickly, making it very difficult to get it into the green part of the bar. Now, let's say Messi. He's got 95 shot power, 95 accuracy, 95 finishing, let's say. The bar would be a lot bigger. The actual indicator itself would be a lot bigger, and it will move up and down very slowly, so it's very easy to get it into the green marker. Now, if that's the case, then fine, I get it. I've played countless mobile games like that. There's many other games out there, not even just football games, that use that kind of feature. I don't know if I like it, and I hope it is a feature that we can turn off and on. I like the fact that FIFA is quite... It's a simulation game. You know, you can make it feel very real. When people watch FIFA from a distance, it can look like a real match of football. But when you start adding these little features where you see these bars above their head moving up and down, especially if it slows down the gameplay, which I don't think it will, but if it did, it would be just... No, I don't... Obviously, I've not used it. I will get to play it soon, I'm hoping, with the game capture coming up soon, the game capture event, and I'll be able to give you guys a better opinion on it. But from what we've seen so far, it's something I'm not too interested in, but maybe some other people are. It just bothers me that potentially you could score with a terrible player just because you're good at moving the bar up and down and getting it in the green area. One good thing about that though, and I know I'm going on a little bit here, but hey, whatever. It kind of removes a little bit of RNG from the game, which effectively makes it better for an esports scene. If you're removing RNG and adding more skill-based elements, in this case, you know, you can be really skillful at timing that bar correctly, it might just make it a little bit more competitive and fair competitive. So in the esports scene, it won't be, oh, I didn't make it to the final because 3 of my shots hit the post. Because that's down to the game. The game decided that your shot was off target, right? Whereas with this feature, if you miss... Maybe you hit the yellow. Maybe you hit the red. You deserve to miss. Whereas you could be going into the final saying, well, I got through because I scored that last-minute winner. I got it perfectly in the green to score the goal. And does it mean there needs to be a counter? Should the goalkeepers then have a slider? If they can get it in the green, they're much more likely to save the shot. You know, there's so many things that I want to talk about when it comes to this. But it's so early. I don't want to... speculate on things that I don't know anything about. Just from what I've seen, I don't think it's for me. I've said that a few times now. I'm going to stop talking about it. I think that's going to be the end of this video, guys, though. 3 new features revealed. I'm sure there's going to be more coming, and I will be uploading it as soon as I get gameplay videos of it and images. So you guys should definitely be subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it.